Let's see what comes up. What are they unwrapping?
Yeah, each wrapping is a lifetime, and they've unwrapped a few now, and so we're like, they wanna stop at this level, this particular lifetime, and kind of elaborate on it,
Very well.
this
So
point
tell
of
me.
the wrapping.
So focus on that lifetime and tell me something more about it so we can address it.
It's like I'm being shown that lifetime now on a screen, and I
Yes.
see pink flowers outside, like in a garden. I'm female, wearing a white dress.
Yes.
It's like a nice large garden. I have a cough, and I know I did something wrong. And I think I
Yes.
have the cough because I did something wrong. Or something I wasn't supposed to do. Something in secret, maybe.
And that made you sick?
I'm not sick, I just have a cough.
Okay.
I think I drank some liquor. Yeah, that seems to be it. Kind of feel it in my nose, and like when you swallow something, but it kind of goes down the wrong way, and you keep feeling it
Yes.
coughing afterwards.
Yes, yes.
Um,
What happens next?
well, I'm a little bit drunk and giggly and kind of coughing, and
Are you there by yourself or with somebody else?
yeah, but I'm still self-aware to trying to cover up what I did, I don't want anyone to think that I'm coughing because I drank. I don't want anyone to notice that I'm drunk, that I'm slightly off balance. And I'm kind
Yes.
of looking around if there's anyone here. I do see a guy.
Is he watching you or something?
No, this seems to be kind of like maybe the 1700s when people wore wigs, that era, maybe, from the clothes that this guy is wearing. And I feel a bit ashamed now.
Tell me a little bit
And
more
I
about
have
your environment.
a
Are you in the
hiccup.
house?
I have like this now. And so I feel like having done what I did, it makes me unable to kind of hold myself. Like I lost control over my body to some extent. I'm used to a lot of etiquette and the way that we move as women is quite a delicate matter. And you kind of lose control a little bit. And now I feel embarrassed that
Yes.
I'm having this cough and I'm having this kind of, yeah, I'm not so elegant anymore now, which is okay for men to kind of drink and get drunk and stuff. But it's very unappealing for a woman to be so loose, to have so little control.
What
But I
happens
was
next?
curious. I run away, like to hide from him. And I go somewhere and I cry. And I slap myself.
Why you do that?
I call myself stupid. Um, and I get up and I kind of pull myself together,
Mm-hmm.
straighten my clothes and my hair. I'm in some kind of a greenhouse. And I just hope it wears off and then, that will be the end of it. But I hope nobody saw me.
Yes. So you were feeling guilty that you had that drink?
Guilty for being so curious to go ahead and do something that,
Why you say it's
yeah.
bad?
Well, no, I don't say it's bad. It's just something that, people kind of tell you not to do. And then I'm so curious to go ahead and do it anyway. And then I make a fool of myself.
Wow, curiosity is a very natural thing and everybody does it. You're just being very hard on yourself and criticizing yourself.
It's not a drink that women are supposed to drink because it's too strong.
I understand, but curiosity is something which would drive you to try new things, and it's a positive thing. You try new things, and now you know that you will not be drinking that anymore. How you feel about this?
Yeah, I just feel that if this guy saw me, then he'll talk about me to other people. And my husband is quite influential, not influential, but if his wife would be doing something that's like nowadays they would put it in the tabloids, it would be like they find a little something about you and then it's gossip all around and your reputation is ruined. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm facing now. And then that affects his reputation. And he will be like, why are you making a fool of yourself? Uh, yeah,
very well. So what happens next? Are you being discovered? Did this happen? Is this person telling on you?
I'm staying indoors nowadays. I'm not going out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he told people that I'm sick. That's why I'm not leaving the house, but it's
So
not
being
true.
he, saying he, you mean your husband?
Yeah, he
Okay.
tells people I'm sick.
And you're not.
I'm
Why are you
not.
hiding inside the house?
He wants me to stay home until I come back to my senses
I
because
don't quite understand.
I did something stupid.
Mm-hmm. Let's back up a little bit and find out what was it that you did that caused you being locked up in the house.
Not locked up though. It's just
That caused you to be in the house. Let's see. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and you go to that moment, to that event, and just tell us what's happening there. 3, 2, and 1. You there. What happened?
I'm at a party with people talking to some women,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I have been drinking,
Mm-hmm.
but like champagne or something that women are, I guess, allowed to drink. That is not too heavy for us, not
Mm-hmm.
considered too much. We'll just giggle and stuff, and we'll be pleasant. So I'm kind of a little bit drunk and I'm laughing, giggling, and talking to them, telling them about I drank something, that I wasn't supposed to drink. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, shocked and but also intrigued, like, oh, like tell us, like I was so brave to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people. I can feel my husband kind of looking like he doesn't want people to think that he doesn't have control over me, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like his wife is a little bit too independent, too much of a daredevil,
Mm-hmm.
which I am a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So what
I
happens?
snort when I laugh, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have to excuse me, I need to use the bathroom, I tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And then these other two women are laughing as I go away. Like they think this story is way too funny. They also have been drinking, so anything's funny at this point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So now maybe I'm the one that made us all laugh.
Yes.
I do lack etiquette to some extent. I'm a little bit outside of the norm sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I try, but
When you say that you're a little bit outside the norm, what do you mean? That you have curiosity?
I kind of lived as a commoner for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it changed me. The way I speak, the language that I use, at times that can express certain things, that
Mm-hmm.
might not be with all the poetic language that the upper class uses to say certain things, but they mean something else and all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it kind of was a freeing experience to some extent, but now I kind of have to comply to
Mm-hmm.
be this certain example,
Yes. So what happens next once you go away from this group of women laughing? How does this happen that you are deciding to stay at the home later? Did your husband say something to you? What happened?
Um, this is after the party.
Mm-hmm.
We're like in the bedroom and
Mm-hmm.
let me see. Well, he's like, well, that was funny. And I'm kind of laughing, like, yeah, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
He says, you know what this means, don't you? I'm like,
What does it mean?
what does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was like doing some business deal with
Mm-hmm.
someone in the middle of doing a business deal, and then that kind of ruined it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he says, I think it's better if you stay at home for a while.
When he says that, how does this make you feel?
I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it. We have a really large home, and I kind of feel relieved to some extent because I feel quite free at home. I run around and um, yeah, I just run around as if I'm outside, in a forest or whatever. So large and so spacious.
So you seem not to have any issues with staying home, do you?
No, not really. Feel
How
quite
about the
safe.
fact how about the fact that your husband is telling you that you have no problem obeying his requests?
I don't feel like it's a request. I think that, he's suggesting that I should be low key for a while, and I kind of agree.
Okay, so you're fine with it.
Yeah, I feel kind of free at home. I've been home for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I'm doing some sewing, like on these pieces of cloth. I'm trying, like to do what is considered something I should be doing
Mm-hmm.
as a woman in my position, but it's like, it's not me. And I try to kind of fit into that model, and
What
I
would you rather
just
be doing?
start to hate myself because I'm doing something that's so contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
I would just rather be outside and free. But
So
then at
you
the same time, I don't feel safe outside sometimes.
mm-hmm. So
Uh,
how long have it been for you being in the house?
it's been about 3 months and I'm scared to
Mm-hmm.
go outside now. I think it's like been so long that I'm starting to see the outside world as this it's like this is the limit and I can't cross it now. It's not that natural anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm just gonna die here in this house. Um, I don't have any kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, like people will forget about me.
Where is your husband? Is he still working and doing his business?
He seems in a good mood. He comes and goes,
Mm-hmm.
and he asks how I'm doing.
What do you tell him?
I show him what I did with the sewing,
Mm-hmm.
and he tells me there's yeah, nice, nice, but I need to work on my skills. It's has to get better still.
Mm-hmm.
There's room for improvement. And
Okay.
I kind of toss it away, like I just hate it. I feel like I'm learning a skill that is like I don't want to learn this skill. I'm not interested. It just seems so pointless.
Mm-hmm. So what happens next in your life? Are you still in the house?
Yeah,
Move forward a little bit to another significant scene. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and you will move in time and space to another significant scene in the lifetime of this woman. 3, drifting and floating. 2, moving to another significant scene. And 1, you're there.
I'm still in the house.
How much time passed?
Kind of feel like I'm going crazy, and I sing. I just run around in the house singing, and I keep singing and singing, and that makes people in the house, servants, think that I'm actually crazy. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not supposed to be singing, but it's like an outlet for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, it makes me feel. And at this point, kind of don't care anymore. I'm wearing my men's clothes again. I used to wear men's clothes. I lived as a man for a while. My mom used to dress me up in men's clothes because she thought, because my dad was doing stuff with me, and she kind of thought that this would deter him to dress me up
Mm-hmm.
as a boy. So that's what I grew up with, what I'm comfortable with, you know.
Mm-hmm. What does your husband says to that?
He doesn't speak much to me anymore.
Mm-hmm. How much time passed since you started being in the house?
I don't know, maybe a year or 2 years. I don't feel good. Feel like I'm going crazy. Maybe I already am. And I sing and I sing and I sing.
Yes.
And I don't
So,
sing like the way that you would sing if you would be entertaining someone.
mm-hmm.
I really express myself and I jump around and I sing not the songs of the upper class and perhaps not the songs that women should be singing, because of
Mm-hmm.
the words that are in the songs, some dirty language.
Mm-hmm.
And I start telling people that I hate them
Mm-hmm.
when they talk
Just
to me.
strangers? Just
No,
strangers?
just the people in the house whenever they talk to me, like tell me to come here and do such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Like they treat me like a child now, like a crazy person. If they tell me come, let's do such and such, I'm like, I just tell them like, stay away from me. I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care anymore. But at the same time, I'm afraid to leave the house. Like this is all I know now.
Yes.
My husband brings someone in now, like a doctor, I think, like a psychiatrist or something,
Mm-hmm.
with a black suit and a white ruffled kind of shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me while I just, like, I don't care. I don't have shame anymore. At this point, I just dance and jump and, sing. And this
Mm-hmm.
guy is observing me.
Mm-hmm.
My husband doesn't know what to do with me.
Mm-hmm. What happens next? What does the doctor do?
Um, he comes to me and he grabs my arms like this.
Mm-hmm. And what happens?
I think I spit at him and I start to cry. And he's grabbing me and trying to control me.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband gets some of the servants to grab me, like grab my legs and stuff, to like put me on the ground as I'm just fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And I cry and I say, leave me alone. Because I am being triggered now. I am seriously being triggered because the stuff that my father did,
Mm-hmm.
it's, just like a PTSD reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I react when people hold me down. They grab me like that.
Yes, that's natural. What happens next?
I'm sobbing, crying, crying so much. Um, I say I didn't mean to be this way. I didn't mean it. I wish I wasn't alive. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I died a long time ago. And I start to feel so small.
Mm-hmm.
And I say I want to leave everybody. I don't want to exist. Like I'm getting in everybody's. I'm just disturbing to see, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to behave.
So what happens next? What do they do?
I think he gives me a sedative,
Mm-hmm.
the doctor, and He tells my husband or the servants to give me some kind of a tea with maybe roses or rose water
Mm-hmm.
to freshen me up and, to make me feel good and make me forget about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up and I'm tied to like a chair with my arms. I'm tied. But they care for me. They don't want me to get hurt,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. And the servants are asking me, if I'm feeling better and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I don't know who I am. I just don't know who I am. I don't know how to behave. One servant is very compassionate, understanding.
Mm-hmm.
She says, it's okay, we're here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Where's your husband?
he seems at a distance from me. He seems to be quite depressed about this situation.
Mm-hmm. What happens?
They untie me
Mm-hmm.
and take me to my bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing a nightgown now, like a long white light nightgown, quite loose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm shivering and crying or almost crying. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I ask one of the servants to sleep with me in the bed, kind
Mm-hmm.
of comfort me or hold me, because I don't feel safe.
Are they able to do this for you?
My husband objects. He's like telling the servant, are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
What are people gonna think? What are people gonna say? Uh, so she leaves, and I'm alone in the bed,
Mm-hmm.
shivering, trembling,
Mm-hmm.
feeling all alone, feeling abandoned,
Yes.
and feeling like I shouldn't exist, and that I don't fit in to this household, this society
Mm-hmm.
that has these expectations, which seem to come naturally to other people, but not me.
Yes. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and we'll move forward in time to another significant time, a scene, and see what happens down the road. 3, drifting and floating. 2, moving farther and farther in this lifetime of this woman. And 1, arriving at another significant scene. What's happening?
Outside, I see the wheels of a carriage,
Mm-hmm.
wooden wheels. I'm in the place where things are beige and brown and natural colors,
Mm-hmm.
whereas in the house we had the pale blue and the nice white and the kind of more like artificial colors, the pink and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
here things are just natural colors mostly.
Is that a building? Are you inside a
No,
building?
I'm outside,
Okay.
dusty ground. Uh, yeah, I have a hat. I'm dressed as a mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
wearing like a black vest, sleeveless vest on top of I don't know what shirt or something, and clumps, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I always also have to pretend because I have to change my voice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, I have to pretend to be something that I'm not, and I just find it easier somehow to live.
Mm-hmm.
To just lie about my age and pretend to be a somewhat younger male than what I
Yes.
am. Uh, and, to kind of keep myself safe, I prefer to be seen as someone that might pose a threat than someone that could be seen as weak.
Mm-hmm. Where's your husband when this is all happening? What happened to him?
Well, we kind of said goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So you're no
it
longer
was
married?
wasn't working. That just wasn't working out. No hard feelings, but um,
So you live
you
by
know,
yourself now?
no
Who you live with now?
people that don't have families like me. We kind of
Okay.
all live together.
Mm-hmm.
There's this older woman I see.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I kind of I kind of see her as my mother figure.
Mm-hmm.
She has she's missing some teeth. She has these stories, that she tells me about stuff that happened and how she handled it.
Mm-hmm. Is she your friend now?
Um, no, we're kind of all people that kind of found each other. Like we all come from certain situations where we kind of left our families, maybe, and
Mm-hmm.
don't have anyone else. So we're kind of all like, like people that have failed in life or
Mm-hmm.
just, ended up in a shelter or something. Not that it's a shelter, it's a house, but we kind of make our own little family. There is this young man, black hair,
Mm-hmm.
who's, yeah, he seems slightly disturbed somehow. Don't know what's wrong with him.
So how you feel when you live in this house with all these other people?
I do the cooking,
Mm-hmm.
feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, feel good. Um, but kind of, I'm kind of expelled from, not expelled from society. I mean, I chose to leave also.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget by choice or not. I don't know. I just forget stuff about my past. I guess I have to make up stuff, as I go, like make up a past for myself that didn't happen because I pretend to be Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this Pierre person has a history which didn't really happen. And I kind of grab it from other people's stories, and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of make a collage and make that my life up till now. And so I
So
kind of have to forget
mhm.
what really happened.
So all the people in that no, house where you live, they don't know that you are really a woman?
Mm, it seems that at least some of them do. but we kind of all agreed that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is just me. It doesn't really matter inside the household, if I'm male or female. It's
Fair.
not like I change clothes or anything, we just have a few clothes that we have and that's it. So
Mm-hmm. So how you feel now about yourself? Do you still carry this self-hatred within you?
I'm not feeling it now.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So you got rid of it somehow.
I forgot it really feels like I forgot my past. Or I
Or
kind of put it in a box, to the side.
or maybe you just accepted the way things are.
It just feels like a different life, like it was all a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I'm not even sure anymore what happened. Maybe
Yeah.
because I've kind of been lying to myself. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, live a simple life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now in a pub. This is a different scene.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like someone recognizes me. Big, fat guy.
Yeah, what happens?
And he's like, I know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of panic because I'm thinking, like, he knows who I am, and I'm not sure who I am, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I'm afraid of what I'm going to find out
Mm-hmm.
about myself from this guy. He's like, you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's drunk, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
And there's other people. I'm sitting at a table with these other people, and they kind of look at me like, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Like, kind of trying to, yeah, determine if that's a possibility. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I get up and I leave. I'm not even trying, I just leave. I'm sober. I'm not drunk. I just walk out of the place, and this anger is coming up in me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking fast, like I'm like angry, and like I have these emotions, but I'm not sure where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk away like outside of the town, and stuff is starting to come up
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want to remember. And it's coming up, and it's like one after the other, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, no, and I start to remember stuff, and I feel so embarrassed.
What do you feel embarrassed of?
I remember acting like an idiot inside of a big house. Like, it's as if that wasn't even me. Like, I don't even recognize that person.
Yes, because you lost your balance at the time and it was pretty much not you.
And I think about my husband, and I just keep
Mm-hmm.
thinking about him, like visualizing him like I see him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, do I love him? Do I want him? Do I
Mm-hmm.
crave him? Do I want to hold him? Do I want to be with him? Does he want me? And like, what am I doing here in this place with these people? Like, it's such a contrast. Where do I belong? Um, And I go out into the forest now and I just sit by myself, playing with like a twig.
Did you get, with your thoughts, did you come to the resolution of these thoughts to like a peaceful place?
A peaceful place, yeah. I try not to think much. I'm just in nature, kind of listening to the birds and breathing. And it's a place I came before where something horrible happened with a boat. But I'm not, you know, I'm not scared of this place. And I'm kind of throwing the twig as I'm walking now. I got up and I'm walking. And I start to say, I hate you. I'm talking to my dad. He's not here, but like, because he did something in the forest with the boat. And I just, like, I'm talking to him, I hate you. And I start to cry. But quietly, I cry quietly. And I say, I really hate you. You know, quietly crying. I hate you so much. I'm whispering now. Uh, and I'm thinking about my mom, like, why didn't she protect me? Why didn't she take me away from him?
Yes.
And I'm just crying. I'm sitting down again now, just crying like childhood memories. And I feel like I wasn't worth saving. I had to be exposed just for the keeping up appearances, you know, staying in a family and staying with this abusive father, and she just being too weak, I guess, to take me away from that. I don't know. Like, why didn't she do that? I feel really messed up. And I feel like I'm a hopeless case.
Yes.
Now I feel like nobody's gonna want me. Like in that town, even if they know that I'm from upper class, living with them.
Yes. So that,
They would feel I'm a traitor, I think. Like I'm a spy, maybe. I don't know.
well, you don't know that exactly. You don't know what would they think. But going back to your very traumatic childhood, were you ever able to address these issues with your family members? Were you ever able to tell your mother or your father?
She knew about it, but she kind of thought that he was like a werewolf, like this would happen to him, and he wouldn't know about it because he'd pretend like he forgot what he did. I don't believe that. And she thought that this was some kind of a illness that overtook him.
Yes.
But funny thing is that it always happened when there was no one else around. So I mean, that should be obvious that, you know, he was hiding it.
Yes.
Just totally exhausting me. He would like tie me up and without food, and just I would totally lose it. I would just lose it.
Yes. That's very painful. That's very traumatic. Is there anything that can be done at this time to help you lift that heaviness, to help you process that heaviness of this abuse, that molestation, that rape?
I need to know it's not my fault. He would say that it's not his fault because, uh, he lusts after me. Like, and that's somehow my fault. That this is the kind of effect that I have on him. And that he just ties me because he doesn't want me to run away. You know, the way that abusers, they make it seem like
Mm-hmm.
it's your fault, you know?
Exactly.
That's just what he did. He's like, I can't help it. You're so delicious. Just licking my body, my nipples.
It wasn't your fault. Your father was much older than you and was a slave to his inner demons, the inner energies which were residing with him. And now I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and we'll go to the last moment of this lifetime as this woman. 3, drifting and floating. 2, going all the way to the last day, the last breath of this body. And 1, you there. What's happening?
I have a cough.
You're coughing,
It's
yes.
pretty bad.
Yes.
I feel it in my head when I cough. I'm wearing a white cap. In this little shack, a little room. Just I'm in bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's really tiny, just the door in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm considered like elderly, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like 50 something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in poor health,
Yes.
as most people my age would be in poor health. They
Yes.
have something or other. Mm, there's a little thing on the wall, like a little bench, a little
Mm-hmm.
something with stuff on it, with like, I don't know, I think it's a candle that's not lit now.
Mm-hmm.
And a little something with money in it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And a little, like a sacred object, like a little dried twig with leaves, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Dried flowers. And this
Mm-hmm.
object gives me comfort. It's like a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
Of one time when I was in a chapel and I talked to someone who
Mm-hmm.
truly was not judging me,
Mm-hmm.
who showed understanding. It was like a religious person, but who didn't blame me. And I
Mm-hmm.
was able to confess these things. And I told him that I don't know what to do and that I'm, kind of living in sin
Mm-hmm.
because I'm confused and I don't know what to do. I don't know what's right.
Mm-hmm.
And this
What did he
person was understanding.
give you advice?
He touched my back, like this. He told me that the Lord loves me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at what's in your heart and your intentions.
Yes, exactly.
This gave me so much comfort. It doesn't matter what people think.
Exactly.
Just want to know that I'm not a sinner or not, doomed. You're
Yes,
not evil.
he gave you beautiful advice. It matters what's in your heart.
And he gave me this little twig with a little flower with a little
Yes,
string around it. He's like, I know this isn't much, but you can remember me by it. I cry.
yes,
I grab him, I hug him, and I tell him, you saved my life.
beautiful. It was a very, very pleasant experience. He understood you.
Simple
Very,
man, just a simple man in a little chapel, just cleaning the chapel. And if someone would come to ask him for advice, something like that.
yes. So now, go to the last breath, last moment of the soul being in this body, and tell me what happens.
I see a light above me, a yellow light like a sun, but it's inside the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't take my eyes off it.
Yes. What are your thoughts when you
I
look in the light?
feel myself dissolving. Uh, I feel
Yes.
like I have two sisters with me
Mm-hmm.
that are kind of dropping off of me now.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just look at that light. It says, come, come to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I really do. Like, it's a way of telling me you can trust me.
Yes.
That feels irresistible. And I feel the true love. It just feels so true, so real, so pure.
Yes.
I
What are your last thoughts on your brain before you go?
think I think my last thoughts are that I forgot a large chunk of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're supposed to reflect upon your life when you're dying, but it was like, you know, I guess a hidden file maybe. It's not that I couldn't access it, I could, but it would bring up all these emotions and stuff, and it would trigger me.
Yes.
So I guess to function, maybe I kind of put up some kind of a barrier.
So are you able to easily separate from your body?
Yeah, it doesn't seem an issue. It does seem to be a little bit gradual, though, like part of it is in and part of it is out, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still aware of it somehow. I look at the body.
So tell me, what happens next? Do you go to the light?
I meet some people.
Mm-hmm. Who are these people?
I meet one guy now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised, like you're here.
Do you
Uh,
know this person?
apparently, but I don't know who he is now. Let me see. Someone I knew like a long time ago, like when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
This young guy. I had forgotten about him. We
Mm-hmm.
had some good times together.
Why is he meeting you there? Are you in the light or not yet?
No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of my body, but
Yes.
I don't know who he is, but it kind of has like a brotherly vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it
Did he
feels
come
like
to
he knows
assist
me,
you?
but I don't know who he is, you know.
You can ask him. Ask if he come. What is his purpose? Why is he coming? Why are you seeing him? Ask him.
It's coming back now.
Mm-hmm.
The memory of that lifetime is going to be very challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I say this was very confusing. He like laughed, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously that would be confusing. And now I feel like he's kind of a spirit guide, whereas in that lifetime he was just kind of a, like a young man, a boy,
Mm-hmm.
you could say, that I met.
Yes.
But maybe more like some kind of a guardian angel in the form of a human that comes at a specific time in your life. Um,
Very well. So what happens next? Is he taking you up to the light?
he's going to Earth.
Okay.
He taught me a skill in that lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
which facilitated something for me, um, something that I was supposed to be able to do as a man, you know, which I guess I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do. And he taught me how to do that so that I could more easily pass and kind of like make a living and be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it was a skill.
So what happens next? You seeing him and he goes to the earth and you go to the light, or what happens?
He's like, I see you, see you around. And yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
goes down. I don't know if he's like a little angel or something. And I kind of wander around in the dark with like all these entities in different places, dead people, souls,
Mm-hmm.
that I see as people, but I know they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's quite interesting. And I kind of see stuff about their life, like it's being revealed as I go, how they
Mm-hmm.
died.
Are all these people coming with you to the light, or they're
No,
just moving in the dark?
I'm just passing, and it's as if it's like you would be walking on the street and you see a bunch of people that you don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
you're just, by some psychic ability or something, you just know stuff about them.
Okay. So what happens next?
I'm going to be stripped of my clothes from that lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taken by two female shaped entities that are dressed in like some black Catwoman suits type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking me almost against my will, like a kind of abruptly, sternly, putting me in
Mm-hmm.
some kind of a shower
Mm-hmm.
quickly, like a quick shower.
Yes.
And then I have to kind of sit there and wait after my shower.
Mm-hmm. What are you waiting for?
for someone to come. It's like when you're at the hospital and you're waiting, you took your clothes off and you're waiting for the doctor to come.
Yes. So what happens next? Who comes?
This doesn't seem like a very benevolent being. He knows me.
Uh-huh. Yes. Are you in the light? Where are you?
Oh, like in space, in spirit.
Mm-hmm. Who is that being?
I think it's someone's higher self.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like broad. It's like in a human shape. It's kind of like, I don't know. The the shape is kind of like he's really big or has like a big cape that he's wearing.
Yes.
He says like, let's talk about your life. And I'm like sitting at a table, like a table appears now,
Mm-hmm.
somehow with some stuff on it, like this and like
Mm-hmm.
this. And there's like glass in the middle. And that's like some kind of a watch or a screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell him, I don't want to look. I don't want to look at what happened. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about all the mistakes you made.
Okay.
And I say, mistakes? I was, like I'm talking on my behalf, like I was traumatized, the mistakes that I
Exactly.
made,
So what happens? Is he showing you
Now
your mistakes?
he takes me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously not showing me everything. Um, but it's like I am being put in some, I don't know where this is going. I'm being put in some kind of an elevator that goes up
Mm-hmm.
to the highest, I don't know what, place of, like in space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, feels like a different planet or something, a different dimension. It feels more like home, this place.
Let's go
I
there.
feel like at home at in this place.
Let's go
Feels
there.
nice.
Let's see what they have for you over there.
Seems like they're busy
Mm-hmm.
with some kind of round table with stuff that I don't know what they're doing, but I kind of come in like in the middle of their work and it's like I wasn't even gone for long, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not like, oh, wow, long time no see. No, nothing like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's more like, how's it going down there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the usual, pretty crappy. You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Feel male now, kind of male, or maybe a mix of male and female. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm asking, what are you guys doing? And there's something really. It's also like these screens, like these round screens that they have. He's showing me some stuff that's
Mm-hmm.
going on that I'm taking a look at now. In It's not on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It seems more something to do with the animal kingdom. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's relevant,
Okay.
like some kind of a species. I don't know. They're trying to balance things, monitoring and trying to balance and infuse stuff that they think might help, and it's
Very
quite
well.
complicated.
So let's back up for a moment. So when you were there with this energy, which seems to be a higher self of someone's, was whose higher self was that?
Hmm. I'm gonna ask him now. Let me see what he says. He kind of doesn't want me to know, like he's hiding. I'm gonna try and find out anyway. He's laughing now.
Mm-hmm.
He's like doing this and laughing like I'm tickling him or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my higher self, maybe? Is that possible?
Okay.
Let me see. I don't know. He's disappearing now.
Okay. So when you were there with that higher self, were you able to find out about the mistakes you've done during that lifetime? Were you able to go over that material? Were you shown your mistakes?
I should have talked back at my dad, one
Mm-hmm.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
and shouted so that people would hear.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so none of this would have happened if you had done that.
Mm-hmm.
And how was I supposed to know that that wouldn't happen? You know,
Exactly.
you're scared. And he's like, well, what do you have to lose? I guess he's right. I
Mm-hmm.
guess it couldn't get much worse than it did.
Yes. So the lesson was to speak up.
The lesson was about adapting to these situations, which I did. I adapted, like, when the situation becomes impossible to live this way or that way, kind of
Mm-hmm.
finding an alternative. And shape shifting,
Mm-hmm.
and then to some extent come to some kind of self-acceptance at the end of my life, you know.
Yes.
I mean, it was a pretty crappy deal, I guess, but
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was difficult lifetime. What did you learn from that lifetime?
I was there assisting the other two souls that were in the same incarnation.
Yes.
Um,
Who were
I
those
kind
other
of
two souls?
There are two souls that I know.
Were they your
Uh,
parents?
no, I mean, we were in the same incarnation. We were in the same body. So there was three of us.
Mm-hmm.
My talent as a soul was strong will.
Yes.
So I was kind of the one that pulled us through and so that they could kind of be in the same kind of situation, challenging situation, but I was kind of, that leader that was like, come on, here's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Very
So
well.
that they didn't have to go through it on their own, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
So
sure how that works.
you were kind of a leader for them.
I want them to be their own leader also.
Mm-hmm.
We were in it together, it was our pain.
Yes.
I guess me as the that strong-willed one,
Mm-hmm.
if anyone should have spoken up, maybe it should have been me.
Yeah.
To, yeah, that would have prevented the harm from happening to them. And see, my mom didn't protect me, and so turns out now that I didn't protect myself and the two souls that were part of us, who we were in that lifetime, which I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't aware of, but
Yeah.
mm, yeah, I should have set the example.
Mm-hmm. Very well. So it wasn't such a lost case after all. You did some good work there.
It's not clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like anything has been like I have achieved anything specific in that lifetime. Uh, I feel like it's kind of chopped up into different, I don't know, pieces. And
Yes. Not every lifetime is such a straightforward, simple life. This one was quite complicated, but you assisted other souls and you expressed a strong will and you set an example for others and you survived. You persevered. You adapted to the situation. And at the end, you accepted yourself. So it looks like you've done a pretty good job in this very traumatic life. What do you think about this?
I think I had a very simple life at the end, but
Yes.
it was way better than all the luxury that I grew up in and
Yeah.
all the deviousness and the,
Yes.
just I would tell people like those rich people, they may look like they're this and that, but oh my God, the things that go on behind those big fancy walls,
Yes.
they're just full of dirt. The things that some people do, they're so perverted. Some of them, they don't know what to do with themselves because they're so filthy rich and they just live
Yes.
for the pleasure. And
Yeah. That's how this goes. But your life was very interesting. You had a taste of everything, the richness and the horrible things. Are you ready to disconnect from this lifetime?
Oh, yeah.
Very well. So now, as I count from 3 to 1, you disconnect from the lifetime of this woman, from all the trauma she went through and experienced. You can open your eyes now. Welcome back.
Mm.
Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. It started really like, oh, there's nothing going on, nothing going on. And all of a sudden, oh my God, there is a lot going on. Yeah, that was kind of intense. Poor child. And I forgot to ask for the name.
Nathalie.
Nathalie. Okay. At least I'll put the name here.
He actually he was saying this, and then kind of unintentionally, I guess the mom kind of gave that same message, like, yeah, we better dress you up as a boy, just
Yeah,
so
because
daddy
she
doesn't
didn't
do this to you.
exactly because
And
she
it
didn't
made me
understand.
like not able to just be myself, like I had
Yeah,
to be something else in order to be
exactly.
safe. And
Exactly. Yeah.
that's kind of messed up. I mean, she probably meant well, she did this for my
That's the
safety, but
thing. Yes, but she
uh,
reinforced the wound, and she just made the child more confused and being like, oh, okay, it must be my fault, so I have to dress like a boy now
mhm,
because he can't keep his hands off of me
yeah.
and
And he
stuff.
he would tell her that, I think it's a lie, but I had two brothers in that lifetime, and
Mhm.
he would tell me that there's several siblings that he keeps in like the basement or in some kind of a dungeon, and that
Oh
he
God.
tortures them. He was sadistic. He wasn't just raping and stuff. It wasn't just sexual. He was really sadistic,
Yeah.
and that he was doing this stuff to them. And he's like, "Do you hear their screams?" And I would hear it, but
Oh
I
my God.
like I don't think I like probably it was just the imagination. Like I thought
Hmm.
that I heard these screams in the distance of my siblings, so I didn't want that to happen to me. Like he
So
made me
when
think that I was one of the lucky ones. You see how this goes? Like
exactly
he's
that's the
yeah,
convoluted, fucked up, sick mind of a psychopath.
yeah, he was a
That's
psychopath.
the
He
thing.
definitely was something.
So when you were
He
saying
was crazy. He was really crazy. Uh, and
So
and then I ran away.
when you were saying that you were there to support these other souls,
Hmm.
that's what you meant, the other siblings.
No, that was not the siblings. That was the two other parts of two other souls. Like that was one of those merged souls avatars.
Okay. Wow.
Um, so yeah, but this guy was like in the forest. Like he put me in a boat, and then he tied me into this little boat in like a creek or something, and he would pour water in and let it just sink enough for not to drown me, but to kind of
Scare.
bring me
Yeah.
to the point where I would be stubborn. I would not want to give him the pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
and then he freaked out when the water was getting too much and the boat was starting to sink, and he's like untying me and asking me to take the water out of the boat, and
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't want to untie my hands. I'm like, I can't help you, He said, well, do it with your feet. And then he's telling me, well, you're clumsy little boy, like, I mean, crazy,
What
just
a fucked up
absolute.
dude.
And I would curse because he would like curse all the time, and I would just be like, took it out from him,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, really fucked up. And then one day, I guess I was like 24 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
he was like coming after me, and I just ran and ran and ran into the forest until I lost him. And then I was this is from previous sessions,
Mm-hmm.
kind of found myself in this field, and then found these people and kind of started a new life somehow. uh yeah.
Wow.
And I was really interested in flowers and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
doing crossbreeding with flowers, and
Mm-hmm.
we had like this greenhouse and stuff. And so I started like a flower business. instead of these farmers, they, and I was like, but you can make good money. And I was kind of like
Mm-hmm.
a businessman for
Mm-hmm.
flowers type of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and then I
Awesome.
kind of went to this big house of like relatives of mine to, I guess, work or meet. I don't know. There was people in line for like a job interview for
Mm-hmm.
service, I guess. And there was this guy, then that guy that I married, the husband, who was like, what was he? I can't remember if he was like a relative or he just was like a butler or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then I kind of went back to that type of life in the big house with the dresses and everything, but it kind of didn't fit in, I guess. Ah, never had any kids,
Yeah.
so that helps. And he was, yeah, I couldn't reconcile with the fact that he was sleeping around, that he was a womanizer and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I have my self-respect.
Yeah.
I did have that, It was like, you know what?
But look,
But
what a horrible fucking life, and you persevered.
yeah, but on
And
one hand, I kind of get why not that I'm saying it's okay to like sleep around and stuff, but like the way that I was then behaving, like, like I took off these dresses and I just went back to my men's suit and stuff. He
yeah,
must have been
yeah,
like, yeah, this is not, a wife that I can have sex with. I don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know what
yeah,
he was
yeah,
thinking, but so, but he was definitely quite a womanizer. Oh my God, the way we met, even like in the castle type setting, like a mansion,
mm-hmm,
like he would spill the tea on purpose on my dress to then
uh-huh,
lure me away, like to,
mm-hmm,
fiddle around and stuff.
uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that was his style. That was his style. But yeah, that was a rough life. That
Yeah,
was a
that was
really rough
a very
life.
challenging lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.